So a very warm welcome, and I think everyone should get a warm welcome. It's pretty cold in Pune now. We are all feeling very happy that like our good old days in school, we are back in our sweaters and shawls, which were not coming out for the last couple of years in Pune's weather. So thank you for joining us here today. Thank you for showing the interest in the program. Let me start by introducing myself to the ones who don't know me. My name is Vaishali Kulkarni, and I am a storyteller and the founder and director of Pune's Children's Literary Center called the Story Station. I've been a storyteller for over 16 years now, and I work very closely with parents, with teachers, as well as children from various schools, wherein I introduce stories to parents and teachers in the form of training and how they can use them in academics. For children, I work very closely in how stories can be introduced to them at a very young age, how literature can be made interesting, how they can develop a bond with books, a love for reading. At the same time, how they can be great storytellers and writers as well. I work as a facilitator and mentor and help children publish their stories, write their stories, and I conduct several writing workshops in Pune as well as out of Pune. In this pandemic, apart from the Story Station where we do our sessions, we also host Pune's literature festival called the Litbug Fest. It is a literature festival where it's a multilingual platform. So thousands of children from all over Maharashtra come and attend the festival. We also host another adult storytelling festival called the Fireflies every year in January. Of course, these two things have taken a backseat because in the pandemic, we decided not to go online with the festivals because the entire fun is to meet everybody in person. The pandemic actually brought me very close to a global audience where we launched a platform called Katha Mehfil, which is an audio stories platform. And we have a couple of parents from Katha Mehfil who have joined us here today. So we post a story every day for the family. I wouldn't say for children, because I know now with almost 900 stories which have reached all our families that it is not my children who listen to the stories alone, but it is the parents, the grandparents, extended family, the car. I mean, the stories are playing in the car, the stories are playing during lunchtime, during bedtime. So I feel very happy to have become a part of everyone's home through our stories. And through various programs with Story Station, we bring a lot of authors and various other programs for our parents as well. I'm very happy to introduce Salima today because Salima is not just a parenting coach, but first to me, she's a friend. Both our children go to a Waldorf school here in Pune. And it is through that bonding and the ideas and the pedagogy of Waldorf that resonates between the two of us that brought us even closer. Our children have been together since the age of 3.5, 4 now, Salima. Yeah. So it's
yes,
been that long. Our children have grown up together. We've been part of the school. And it's not just the school, but also I think the philosophy and the kind of upbringing that we believe in that we keep discussing about things, the activities that we do together with our children. And while I was discussing that and when I thought of it, I thought it would be wonderful to have Salima on this platform. So I'm not going to take any more time of yours, Salima. I leave you to tell us what you have to bring for us today, because we have parents and teachers from the early childhood age group here joining us for a session. Of course, today is an introductory session, but Salima also does several workshops in the same domain. So Salima, over to you. I'll put you on spotlight, and I'm sure all of us are going to have a very enriching experience here today with Salima in the evening. Over to you, Salima.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Vaishali. And hello to everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to the program. I would at the outset like to thank Vaishali for, as she said, we've been friends for many years, but, it is lovely coming together, working together in a field which we both, believe so strongly in. And, it's really nice that, we could come together and, we could bring so many of our other friends and parents whom we know, whom we care about, children whom we care about. Yeah, so together we will try to make this session interesting and engaging. And you can, of course, if you have a question in between, you can always interrupt in between and ask. However, if it is possible and you can wait, note down your question. We'll have 10 minutes at the end, so that we are not probably breaking or digressing too much. Yeah. I would also really request, if it's possible, for the children to be, doing something else while their parents are on this, attending this session. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention it on the group earlier. So if it's possible, can the children be doing, some other activity or something else? Because it's really a session for the parents. And yeah, some things are better kept away from the little ears, right? So I will wait for a minute.
Bye. Bye, Mugdha. Bye, Ira. I'll see you again tomorrow morning, okay? With stories. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, parents. Thanks a lot. And you will realize in the end that it was good because, some of the things that we will discuss, if it comes out from you to the child, it will be more effective rather than them hearing me say it to you. Right? So that's the only reason. And I hope this is okay. Okay, Mukta's mom? Yeah, Ira's mom? All right. Thank you so much. Okay, so before I talk, or say anything about myself, I will introduce myself. But hang on, Vaishali said enough about me, right? So I want us all, okay, I want you all to go back, including you, Vaishali, to the day that our child was born, that our baby was born. Okay, just close your eyes and go back to that maybe hospital room or whatever, wherever you give birth to your beautiful child. And that moment when you first held your child in your hand, that little bundle of cuteness all filled in, right? So small. And maybe my first thought was, oh my god, he's so small and so dependent on me. I mean, look at how small he is, right? And they were inside us, and now he's come out, and I cried, right? And maybe you held him close to your heart with tears in your eyes. You felt his heart beating. You kept your finger inside his little palm. And I'm sure every parent in that moment holds their child and makes this promise that, what, I'm going to do whatever it takes to give you a beautiful life, to give you a life which any parent, the best life that I can give you. It might not be the greatest one, but I'll do my best to give you the best life possible, right? And we always say that we want to give them a life that provides them an environment in which all these beautiful gifts, I'm sure, that they have will all come out, and that they'll be able to unfold, and they'll be able to show their gifts to the world, right? Yeah, everyone with me? How many of you went through a similar experience? Yeah, type yes in the chat box. Let's keep the chat box alive on. Yeah, I want to see your responses. Yeah, I think Vaishali, the spotlight is on you. I am not sure because I can see you. I don't know if it's my view or what is it.
I've actually put you on spotlight. Let me ask the others. Can you see Salima on spotlight?
Now.
Now
Yes.
is it? Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Because you were on spotlight when,
No problem. That's okay. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Yeah. So everyone with me on this. And then what happened? We got this baby home, okay, this bundle of joy. And we started, we gave our full being into feeding it, caring for it, changing him, putting him to sleep, making him burp, and, all sorts of things, right? And every time our child would achieve a milestone, we would feel so proud and so rejoiced, right? With such beautiful moments. The first time your child smiled, or the first time she put her hand up and touched something, see, look. And I was with my camera all the time, okay? I mean, I don't know how many hours of video recording I have of both my children, yeah? Everything they did, I wanted to record. I wanted it to be a 24/7 recording going on, right? I wanted to capture every moment because they were, I felt so proud. I felt so happy. And, we realized that slowly and steadily, our children are growing up. They were so small when they were in the hospital in our arms, but they are growing up. And, a lot of times along this journey, we, come across situations where, we feel that, oh, I don't know really what is the best for my child right now. Yeah, what should I do? Right? And of course, we have family and we have friends, and people are telling us and giving us advice, sometimes unwanted, sometimes, we seek out for it. But, and then, we read, we're in the internet era, and a lot of times this information is contradictory. For example, my mother-in-law used to say, no, you use cloth diapers. Yeah. But so I used to get crazy rashes when we used cloth diapers. It was maddening. We would be out of diapers like this, right? And she would have these red patches. There were some people who said, you should start solid foods at 6 months. Some people said, no, hold on, hang on for a year. It's not good to start solid foods for a child at 6 months, right? And you know you kind of getting all this, and you wished that they taught this in school, right? Or in some college at one small course. Yeah, they had given us some amount of time, right? I mean, everybody's going to get married, everybody's going to have a child, right? I don't know how many engineers on this group, but M2 nahi sikhaya hota to chalta tha. But they should have taught us what to do with this small baby when you get them home, right? Especially first time parents, isn't it? And you feel that on job training, parenting is an on job training, is what everybody told me. Don't worry, you learn along the way. And I would think, yeah, I want to do the best thing. I don't want to do trial and error. I don't want to do something, fail, have my child suffer because I didn't know what to do. Yeah, this trial and error, on job learning nahi karna hai mujhe. I want to know what is the best thing to do. Yeah. And you constantly have this feeling that I'm doing everything, but there's something amiss. Maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I should do a little more. Maybe I should do what she is doing. Maybe I should do what my brother is doing. Yeah, we look at our friends and we say, oh, she's doing that. Maybe that's a good thing. Let me try that. Right? Right? Everyone with me? Yeah? Okay, great. Right now, your baby is 2 years old. Okay, we हो गए 2 साल हो गए वो छोटे से बेबी को हाथ में लेके. We are home. Now the baby is 2 years old. Okay, now what is she doing? Now she's getting really, really, really difficult. Lot of crying, lot of throwing things, lot of tantrums. Yeah, they're not going along as easily as they used to earlier, isn't it? It was easier, no, to get things done from a 1-year-old because they're lying down, they're hardly doing anything. Yeah, but for a 2-year-old or for a 3-year-old, even to sometimes to get them to eat, yeah, is a big task. And you'll be like, no, yaar, you know what? Let me finish it before my meeting because otherwise, wo 4 baje tak khayega nahi. Right? Everything becomes a task. Right? And again, what do you wish? You wish there was a school. Yeah? Do you wish there was a school? How many of you wish there was a school? Put it in the chat box, please. How many of you wish that there was a school and there was a curriculum? Yeah, the way there is a curriculum for engineering and for MBA and everything. And that we were taught how to be the super mom or the super dad. I don't know how many dads on the call today. Yeah, super mom. Matlab, handling home, handling office, handling relatives, in-laws, parents, own parents, and handling the child, right? Providing an amazing, nourishing environment at home where your child is, blossoming into this beautiful, child, this toddler. He's healthy, he's calm all the time, he's very playful, very nice to be around. Yeah, not throwing tantrums. And even when they do throw a tantrum, you are equipped. You know how to handle it. You're there to manage it all well. Yeah, with all this going around, yeah, sometimes, a lot of times, yeah, we are at a loss of what do we do? How do we handle this? Yes. And what do we want really for our children? What do we want for our children? How do we want our children to be? Can you guys type? How do you want your children to be? I want to see the adjectives. What do we want our children to be? A good human being, yes, of course. What else do we want our children to be? Come on, we're all moms here. It's not going out. I'm not sharing this anywhere. Don't worry. Ever smiling and happy. Very good. Yeah. Who would listen to me? Yeah, your child would listen to you. Disciplined, yes. Yes. What else? What's your dream? Well, what's your dream situation with your child? Happy, joyful, cooperative, obedient, yeah, creative, creative, yeah, calm, not throwing tantrums, well behaved, yeah, not misbehaving either on the playground, not hitting, not snatching, motivated and driven, confident, yes, yeah, and so well behaved, matlab, the benchmark would be when your biggest critics, who are your biggest critics? For me, they are my mother-in-law and my mom, yeah, equally. Yeah, your biggest critics will pat your back and say, wow, you're doing such a great job with your child, amazing. Yeah, that's like our, yeah, yes. Yes, Vaishali. Yeah, but you want to have that feeling, right? You want to feel that, yeah, I'm doing a really good job. Yeah, yeah. I wish I could do a really good job. I wish I could be the super mom who could handle everything. Yeah, and I wish that there was a course which would teach me. I wish somebody would tell me what to do a lot of times, right? So wish come true, right? There is a course now. It is available. Okay. And luckily for you, this is your first day of that course. Yeah, we will start the course today without paying anything, even one dime. Yes. So I am a parent, just like all of you. I am Salima Dosani. Yeah. And I have had the same struggles as a parent as all of you had. As you can see, I almost narrated everything that has happened with me, and a lot of you said yes, happened with me too, right? So all of us are probably sailing in the same boat, right? And I had my first child when I was 30, Soha, okay, beautiful baby girl. And she was like a blessing, right? She was like a blessing. And I tried to do everything that I thought was good for her, right? So, of course, other than taking care of her and her health and her, all her other activities. Somebody unmuted by mistake, I guess. Yeah, so other than all these other activities, I wanted her to be really intelligent. So when she was 3, I started showing her these brainy baby CDs. And I paid a bomb because I ordered them from US, right? I ordered toys from the US. And, I would make sure that she's eating. Yeah, even if it meant, that she's watching something and I'm feeding her, because at least I was taking care of her nutritional needs, right? She needed food to grow up. And that was my job as a parent. Yeah, do we all feel like that? कि कुछ तो खिलाना है, कैसे तो खिलाना है. That is our job as parents, right? उनके पेट में खाना जाना है. Everybody okay with Hindi and English, right? I keep going into Hindi बीच में because this subject is really close to my heart, so it comes from within. है ना? चलेगा ना? Hindi, English चलेगा, right? Okay, good. Yeah. So I used to put food in her body somehow. Okay. कुछ तो देख रही है, and I wanted to make her intelligent. I would make her watch these CDs, and I really thought these programs helped her. I really thought that they were educational programs and that they would make my child very intelligent, right? And then luckily for us, we ended up putting her in a school called Swadha, which follows the Waldorf curriculum. It's an international curriculum, and we put her in that school because we were very disappointed with what was the way she was growing up, or what was happening in an ICSE school that she was in earlier. And when we put her in Waldorf, we came across these mentors at Waldorf who don't only work with the kindergarten child, but they also work with the kindergarten parents. Yeah, and we were lucky to come across a lot of these mentors who took many workshops with us, right? And they introduced us to this concept called child consciousness. Okay. And this session, to be honest, was an eye-opener for me. Okay. And after this session, I was sitting with my hand on my head for hours, and I was like, oh my God, if I knew this earlier, I would not have done this. I would not have done that. And I wouldn't have done this either. And thank God I know now I'm going to drop my future 10 activities that I had planned for Soha. Now, that big an eye opener. It threw me off as a parent. It took me some time to actually get used to the idea that, oh God, something like this exists. And, I went online and researched on whether this was something real or whether, it was something Swada was just saying. It was a local philosophy that they followed and stuff like that, right? And I attended multiple workshops with them. In fact, they took one every month. So we attended multiple workshops. And you know what? I found that there were so many studies which proved, okay, that these were the best parenting techniques for early childhood. And this data exists. A lot of preschools ignore it. Okay, media companies ignore it, right? But this exists, this research data, these studies exist, which say that these are the right things to do as a parent. Okay. Luckily for me, I got a second chance. I had my son. He's 9 years old now, Arsh. He and Kavya have been in the same class since they were 3. And I got the second chance, right? I got a chance to do things differently with Arsh. For example, I never ran around Arsh to feed him, and of course it was because I learned this at Swadha, right? I wouldn't run around. I would say, boss, it's eating time. We're sitting here and eating. And if you don't want to sit down, it's okay. Lunchtime is over. And, that's fine. Next time to eat is at 4. You'll get milk at 4. Yeah. And it's difficult to do that, right? But I did it with Arsh. And, a lot of these changes that I made, I can see the differences, okay, in some of the habits which have even carried on into their early teens, right? So, for example, with Soha, I'm still worried whether she knows how much she wants to eat. Yeah, I'm still worried because she does not know how much her body needs or wants, because I've been feeding her, I used to run around her every 2 hours, make her eat. Yeah, but with Arsh, he'll say, no, mama, today I want just 2 rotis. And that's it. And I know that it's going to be enough for him. I never force Arsh to eat. Yeah. And that's a big difference. And this is just an example. I changed my strategies in a lot of places with Arsh. And I realized that those first 3 years, the things I did differently with Soha, and the first 3 years, the things I did differently with Arsh are actually making a difference in the way they have grown up now. Yeah. So basically, I realized that, yes, there is a right way to do things. This information is available. Okay. And, I, of course, started applying them with Soha. She was just little. She was just 3.5, right? So, and today, after 6 years, 10 years, actually, I've been applying these. Arsh is 9 now. 9. He just became 9. And for the last 9 to 10 years, I've been applying these techniques. And I am very confident today that my children are growing up the way they should. Yeah, they're healthy, they're intelligent, they're creative, they're well behaved, right? And they're growing up with the right values and behaviors. Okay, they're going to all grow up with being remarkable adults. And I believe that about Kavya, and I believe that about every child whose parents have adopted these techniques, because I've seen these children, right? Vaishali and I have seen these. We were just talking before all of you joined in, right? How we've seen these children grow, and so beautifully, right? We see that it's such a joyful experience to be around them, right? And our parenting journeys have not been stressful, right? It's been a joy to be with these children. Yeah. And it's not magic. It's a skill. It's a competency, right? So what I have done is I have put together all these techniques we have learned over all these years. Okay. All my experiences, all this knowledge, all these studies, right? I have put them into a few sessions. Okay. And we will start session number 1 today. Okay, good. Everyone with me on this? Okay, I'm switching on the chat again. Okay, great. All right. So now let us imagine that we have a rose bud. Okay, we have a rose bud in our hand and we want it to bloom. So what will we do if we want the rose bud to bloom? So please unmute and interact with me now. No more chatting. Yeah, unmute and talk to me. And switch on your videos, yeah, guys. Okay, I'm seeing a few people on video. So anyways, Yeah. So what will we do? To make this bud bloom into a beautiful flower. Come on, come on, come on. Kavita, is that? Yes, Kavita.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I said we have a beautiful pink rose bud in our hand. Kali hai hamare paas, right? And we want it to bloom. So what will we do to make the flower bloom?
It should have some sufficient sunlight, proper
Perfect.
water,
Perfect.
and good
Sufficient
quality soil.
Perfect. Perfect. Anything else? Anybody wants to add to what Kavita said?
Yeah, we nurture it. We see to it that every day it is getting the same amount of nutritions, and we take care of it. I mean, maybe during the day, if it's getting enough sunlight, towards the evening, whether I need to keep it somewhere else. So we nurture it basically.
Nurture it. Yes, we'll nurture it. We'll give it nutrition. We'll provide a nourishing environment. Let's say today is 14th February. Okay. And I have this flower. And I said, nahi yaar, aaj Valentine's Day. Ye phool to aaj hi ugana hai. I want it to bloom today. Are what you are smiling? Nobody gives me a rose. Yeah, I get one bud. I want it to bloom on 14th. हाँ तो आज ही चाहिए. So can I open the petals like that and make the flower bloom? Can I do that? Try किया है क्या कभी? Have you tried to pull the petals open and make the bud bloom? क्या होगा if we try to do that? We don't do it, no? Why? Because we can imagine what will happen. What will happen?
We have nurtured it so with lovingly that we don't want to actually cut it, first of all.
Yes, but if you pull the petals open, what's going to happen?
It will
Why
fall
don't you
apart.
do that? Why
It will
don't we try and
destroy.
open the petals?
It will
The flower,
destroy.
yeah,
It will get destroyed, no? It'll not remain a flower, it'll break, right? But if you're patient with that bud and say, ठीक है यार, आज 14th February है तो कोई बात नहीं, you know, I'll do without a flower today, but you know, I'll keep this stem in the water and I'll wait patiently for it to bloom, right? So it will bloom. It will bloom. We all believe that it will bloom. पानी में रखेंगे तो bloom हो जाएगा ना? क्योंकि वो it's a flower, no? It's in its destiny to bloom, right? It will bloom one day, right? So what is required from us to make that flower bloom?
Patience.
Patience and nurturing, love, right? और हम ऐसे बोलेंगे क्या कि आज अगर थोड़ा सा बढ़ा फ्लावर तो मैं नर्चर करूंगी, नहीं तो मैं नर्चर नहीं करूंगी. तो मैं पानी डालूंगी, नहीं तो I'm going to draw all the water out of the vase. आज एक थोड़ा तो इतना मिलीमीटर तो बड़ा होना चाहिए वो फ्लावर, नहीं तो पानी नहीं डालूंगी. ऐसे करेंगे क्या हम लोग? नहीं करेंगे ना, right? So what will we do? Unconditionally, flower बढ़ता हुआ दिख रहा है या नहीं दिख रहा है, we will keep putting water, we will keep it in the sunlight, we will make sure कि उसको हम nourishment दे रहे हैं, right? So our children are like this bud. Okay, guys, our children are like this bud, right? Every bud on this rose plant will bloom. Okay, it's in their destiny to bloom. They are all going to be beautiful adults. Yeah, but we cannot force that process by pulling a petal open. Yeah, or we cannot say no, Vaishali's flower has bloomed. Vaishali has a flower on Valentine's Day, so I also want my flower to bloom today. Right? That's not going to help. What is going to happen? It's going to destroy the flower, isn't it? So what is it that we need to do? We need to provide unconditional love, and that is lesson number 1. Unconditional. Okay, what does unconditional mean? Unconditional means
without any expectations.
Without any expectations. Perfect. Thank you. Ira's mom, right? It says Ira Tandon, but I think you're her mom.
Yes.
Right? Without any expectations. मुझे बताओ, when our children were 6 months, 8 months old, क्या करते थे वो लोग? To get all our love and all the cuddles and all the kisses and all the hugs. What were they doing at 6 months and 8 months? Drinking milk, crying, and pooping. और कुछ करते थे? और कुछ नहीं करते थे, है ना? फिर भी हम 6-8 महीने के बच्चे को कडल करेंगे, उसको हग करेंगे, उसको किस करेंगे, show him so much love we express, right? And then what happens as our children grow up? What happens? What is also growing up?
Our expectations towards how they should.
Our expectations are growing up with our children, no? So now when he's 1 year old, चलेगा नहीं तो प्रॉब्लम है ना? मेरे भाई का बेटा 9 महीने में चलने लगा था, right? What has grown? Our expectations have grown, and what have we started doing? We have started
Comparing them.
We have started comparing them. My friend's daughter can recite a poem at the age of 2. Look, she already knows her ABC. Right? What are you doing? And then what do we start doing? We start showing our love based on our child's achievements. हाँ, poem बोल के दिखाया तो अली मेरा बच्चा so cute, very nice. Come here, I'll give you a hug. हाँ, और जब poem नहीं बोलता है तो say, अरे, you can't do this much. Look at your sister. Look at your brother. Look at his friend. हाँ, जो छोटे सिबलिंग्स होते हैं वो तो बेचारे उनकी पूरी जिंदगी दीदी को देखो यही सुनते सुनते निकल जाती है. And I have a younger brother, so I know. Luckily, I was the elder sibling. हाँ, but younger sibling की तो almost पूरी जिंदगी दीदी को देखो या भैया को देखो सुनने में निकल जाती है. Isn't it? Yeah. So we are starting to compare. And who is this competition amongst? Please tell me. Is it among the children? Is it among the children?
Yes.
Who is it among? Who is this competition among?
We just try, to, see that they are up to the mark with other children, or I mean, at least at their age, whatever is expected, they should be able to do that much basic.
Yeah. Who is this? Whose need is this? That
I
the
think it's a
child.
competition. It's the competition amongst parents. Like मेरा बच्चा अच्छा कर रहा है या तुम्हारा बच्चा अच्छा कर रहा है.
Bingo. Yeah. The day we realize that this competition is between us, it is nothing to do with the children. And what was the promise we made to the child? What was the promise we made to the child? That we will do everything that is best for the child. But what do we start doing? We start competing. तुम कब आ गए इक्वेशन के अंदर? हम कब आ गए इक्वेशन के अंदर? When did our expectations and our comparisons and our friends and our relatives, when did that happen? Yeah, the child is going to grow. He's going to grow at his own pace. Right? Is it fair? You tell me, if you have a rose plant and there are buds on the plant all over. Tell me, are all the buds going to bloom on the same day? You tell me. Is it possible for all the buds to bloom on the same day? सब एक साथ फूल गए एक ही दिन पे. होता है क्या ऐसे? एक्सपेक्ट करोगे क्या तुम अपने प्लांट से कि सारे फूल एक दिन पे उग जाए? They'll bloom all on the same day. Yeah, you won't know what to do with those flowers, no? Yeah. So, you see, it's a rule of nature, right? Everything takes its own time. There's a time and place in heaven for everything. It's one of my favorite sayings. It was written in Soha's book one day. Yeah, there's a time and place in heaven for everything. And this blessing of a child that we have got, we should not put our expectations on this child. We have to be patient. It's a flower, it will bloom. But we have to be patient and we have to keep giving this unconditional love. Does this mean कि बच्चा जो बोलता है वो करने दे? Does this mean that, we keep hugging and kissing him and we do not tell them anything? कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे. And some parents go through this other extreme also. हाँ, रानी बेटी है, जो बोलेगी वो होगा. चिल्लाएगी तो चलेगा, चीजें फेंकेगी तो चलेगा, सब चलेगा. Is that okay? नहीं ना, अभी पेरेंट्स है तो सिखाना भी अपना ही काम है. तो क्या करें? अभी एक तरफ मैं बोल रही हूँ अनकंडीशनल लव दे दो, दूसरी तरफ मैं बोल रही हूँ नहीं, सिखाना भी तुम्हारा ही काम है. करेक्टिंग इज ऑल्सो आवर जॉब ओनली. तो फिर It is about how we are correcting. Yeah, it is about what we are saying. When a child does something that is not acceptable to us as a behavior, okay, how we are telling the child and what we are telling the child. Are we telling the child, you did a very bad thing, huh? Please go away from here. Mama does not love you anymore. It's very bad boy. Very, very bad boy. Look at your brother. Is this how he behaves? Very bad. I don't like this. I don't love you anymore. Now this breaks the child. Okay. Do we all say it? I've also said it. I have said it when I didn't know better. Okay. I'm saying, tu chali ja, I don't love you. You're being very naughty. I don't love you. Do we say that sometimes? We shouldn't.
Yes.
We shouldn't. Yeah. Because our love is like an anchor for the child. Yeah. And I also realized this very late. And I hate myself for the times I did this to my children. Right? Because our love, cannot be a consequence of bad behavior. We cannot take away love as a consequence. There needs to be consequence. Okay, there needs to be consequence. Parents need to put the boundaries. Parents need to tell the child, do course correction. वो हमारा काम है. लेकिन हम बच्चे को प्यार करना बंद कर देंगे क्या? You tell me, will you seriously, really stop loving your child just because your child is not achieving something which he should at his age? Or just because he hit someone or threw something? Are you really going to stop loving your child? No, we're not. No, we're not. So then why do we say that something like that, something so hurtful for the child? See, children, when they're inside our wombs, they are connected to us with this physical umbilical cord. We all know that, right? Yeah. When they are born, yeah, they are connected with us through this invisible umbilical cord of feelings. Okay. But they're still very, very connected to us. They're in an external womb. Okay. The womb has just become bigger. It's become outside your body. But they're still in the womb and they're very connected to you. Have you ever have you sometimes felt ki, when you're feeling very bad about something, you're upset, you're sad, yeah, and your child is also being cranky on the same day. Yeah, he's also doing a lot of chit-chit. Tum already itne irritated ho, you're upset, you had a fight with someone, and your child is also doing chit-chit. How many people have had this experience? Yes? Only Prachi, really? Nobody else has ever felt this? Ki already...
All the hands went up, Salima.
All the hands. Oh, I don't know.
All
I
the
can't
hands
see
went
all
up.
the videos.
They're engrossed. They didn't chat. They all put their hands when you.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't see all the videos. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we feel, I'm already so upset. Why is my child being difficult today? You know what is happening? Your child is reflecting how you're feeling, and your child does not know what else to do. He does not know what else to do. But he can feel that you're upset. He can feel that you're not well or you're not feeling great. Right? We cannot act in front of our children. हम किसी को भी उल्लू बना सकते हैं based on what we are feeling. We'll be feeling rotten inside, but in front of our bosses, we can happily smile. We have guests at home. We can fool everybody into believing nothing is wrong. Right? But we cannot fool our children. Our children know. They just don't know how to tell us that they know. Yeah. So they cry, or they behave in a way that is not acceptable to get your attention. The best thing to do when you're not feeling great is sit with your child, and it's okay to cry with your children. It's okay. Mama kabhi roti nahi is not a benchmark we have to achieve. क्यों इतना superhuman effort डालना है इतनी inhuman चीज में हमको? कोई जरूरत नहीं. I have sat umpteen number of times with Soha and Arsh and cried. It just makes, because they're anyways connected. They're anyways feeling everything I'm feeling. Right? They're very, very connected with me. So I sit and, it feels so much better just when I'm holding them and hugging them. Yeah. And another thing about hugging children is, sometimes you hug them, you say, I have a habit, I hug them a lot of times in the day. So I get up, I hug them. And when I let go, I realize that he's still holding. How many of you felt like that? कि बच्चे को हम जब हग करते हैं ना और हम छोड़ देते हैं, हाँ, बट बच्चे ने फिर भी पकड़ के रखा है. क्यों? Because he's not had his fill. उसका नहीं पेट भरा है. Right? So hug a child till a child is hugging you back. Always. Thumb rule. Hug your child till the time your child is hugging you. Because they need that. Yeah, he can't express it. He can't say it. But he's showing it to you. He's showing you, Mama, I need you. Can you sit with me for some more time, please? And I've had to do this, I was going through a very, very low emotional time as a family. And sometimes it's been 10, 15 minutes. I've just sat with Arsh. Now, Soha is emotionally much stronger. And Arsh is as sensitive and as emotional, but not as verbal. He wouldn't cry easily, he wouldn't express easily, but he would just hold on tight and he would sit. And, a lot of times I wouldn't say anything. I would just be there for him. I would just be there and bless him. And love him. Children don't need to hear I love you. They need to feel that love flowing through you. And they feel it. You hug a child बहुत प्यार से ना, उसको तुम अपने मन में bless कर रहे हो, वो feeling pass होती है बच्चे को. They don't need to hear us saying I love you. Right? Words don't really matter that much. तुम्हारे feelings automatically उसके तरफ पहुंच रहे हैं. They're already reaching your child. And you are the world for your child. You are his whole world. You are her whole world. So I was in the hospital when she was 3 years old. Yeah. Very, very high fever. My husband was not in town. Okay. I had Arsh, who was 8 months old. And it was crazy. She had 105 fever when he took her to the hospital. Doctor ne immediately admit kiya. Uske sare kapde nikale. They started giving her sponging. And, Arsh was he was a crier when he was younger, continuously crying. He needed to be fed every 2 hours. And so his fever wouldn't come down. And I was going completely berserk. I was going mad and I was feeling so scared. I was feeling hyper, and, a lot of feelings. So we all kind of moved into the hospital room, right? Me, my mother-in-law, my mother, Arsh, with all his rocker and everything. And Soha was lying on a bed. And Soha was also not eating properly, not sleeping properly. Fever 101 tak, 100 tak niche aata tha, phir chढ़ jata tha. And it would just shoot up, and I was so worried. And, luckily all her tests came back negative. So there was no bacterial infection. And the doctor told me that, we've started an IV with kya bolte usko, all-rounded viral infection. So it'll come down. She said, don't worry, nothing serious. Fever control mein aa gaya hai, aa jayega niche. It'll take 3 to 5 days. Yeah. And then she took me out of the room and she said, Salima, bachchi to theek ho jayegi. That much guarantee I'm giving you. Okay. Her health will become okay. But what she takes away from this experience will depend on you. Okay? Because Soha ko farak nahi padta कि ये उसका घर है या हॉस्पिटल है या कोई होटल रूम है. उसको क्या फर्क पड़ता है मम्मी के चेहरे पे एक्सप्रेशन क्या है. She is worried because you are worried. She is upset because you are upset. And she said, you have to get a hold on yourself. You are her world. अगर तुम यहाँ पे खुश रहोगी, ठीक रहोगी, तो वो भी खुश रहेगी, ठीक रहेगी. उसको महीना भर रखेंगे तो भी उसको फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. तुमको कितना फर्क पड़ता है, इससे उसको फर्क पड़ता है. That's what matters to her, how you are feeling. Yeah, because she's taking her cues from your expressions, and not just your expressions. She's taking your cues from what you are feeling. Right? So she will get better. Physically, she will get better. Mentally, क्या होगा उसके साथ? This is in your hand. Because she has to be here for the next 5 days. I'm not letting her go home. Right? And another big eye-opener for me at the time. Yeah, I went out. I cried my heart out. Okay. And I decided that, the doctors have convinced me. They're convinced that it is okay. It's nothing serious. It's about the time that a viral fever needs to, it takes to kind of the medicine to work and the fever to go down. Okay. And I decided that I will not make this a harrowing experience for Soha and for Arsh for that matter. Right? So I went home and I got, our storybooks. I got some of our board toys or whatever toys we had. And I just kind of slipped into ghar ka routine at the hospital. Okay. So for example, 4 o'clock was milk time. I asked the doctor, she said, you can give her milk. I gave her milk. 5 o'clock was, play time. We opened up the board game. We started playing. Yeah. 7 o'clock dinner time. We had dinner. 8 o'clock story time. We read our story. Right. I just slipped into routine. I stopped worrying. Ki kya hoga? Yeah. I took control of my emotions. I felt better. Okay. And Soha felt better. Immediately. Almost immediately uska khana chalu ho gaya, uska bowel movement theek ho gaya, uska sona, she slept much better that night. And after that, yeah. And this experience really made me realize that we are their world. We are their world. There's nothing beyond us for them. Not yet. Not until they're much older. Their parents form their world. Right? So we need to keep that world intact till the time they're much older. Okay? So, hug them, touch them, show them, express your unconditional love. It doesn't matter whether they achieve something or not. And a lot of children, when you start doing this, a lot of my parents have come and told me, Salima, the first thing my child asked me is, Mama, मैं बुरा बच्चा रहूंगा तो भी तुम मुझे प्यार करोगी? And that is the question your children have. कि अगर वो बुरे बच्चे की तरह बिहेव करेंगे तो फिर भी तुम उनको प्यार करोगे क्या? What's your answer, girls? करोगे क्या? हाँ, किसी को कल उठा के कुछ फेंक के मार दिया तो बच्चे को प्यार करोगे या नहीं करोगे? सच सच बताओ. करोगे ना? तो अपने बच्चे को बताओ कि yes, there will be times when you will make a mistake and I will be upset. Yes, but I will never stop loving you. Never ever. I will always be there for you. And that's when your child will always come back to you. You will be his anchor. Yeah. So touch your children, show them that, they mean the world to you. They're a blessing for you. Tell them when they sleep, I have this habit of telling my children, you all are the best children in the whole world. And, sometimes I feel they wait to hear that after that good night. Yeah, I say good night, love you. And I say, you're the best children in the whole world. And nowadays my Soha also says, same to you, just a mom. Yeah, but they wait to see that. It's a validation. All of us like to be told we are loved, no? Yeah, massage your children, touch them. We don't touch enough. How many of you believe in Reiki? Palms are supposed to be the channels for flow of energy, all kinds of good and bad sometimes, but we don't necessarily touch somebody to give bad energy, right? But hands are a great medium to, pass on very good vibes, very good emotions, very good feelings. Massage karo apne bachcho ke pair chote chote, to kuch hi din chote rehne wale, they're going to grow up like this. My daughter's coming up to here now and I'm like, Soha kahan gayi? Where's that little baby? Yeah, whose feet were so small, whose hands were so small. Right? So today's assignment, although I know, when I do a 3-day course, मैं लोगों को बोलती हूँ कि, I'm going to ask you tomorrow. But today's assignment for you, and I want you guys to put it on the group. Okay, today's assignment is that you will put a timer for yourself. Okay, 1 घंटे का timer लगाओ phone पे. Okay, and every time the timer rings, you go hug your child. Period. No rhyme or reason. Okay, your children are going to be shocked. They're going to be surprised, but do it anyways. Okay, I've had a parent who said, "Ha, Mama, tu session attend kela na. I know you're doing it because of that." Yeah, she called me the second hour. She said, "Salima, my daughter's saying like that." I said, "It's okay, Dipali, karti rahe. It's fine." Yeah, 4th, 5th hour के बाद जब नहीं जाओगे, अगर तुम भूल गए, तो बच्चा खुद आएगा हक करने के लिए. वो खुद आएगा. And I've had parents call me up and tell me that as well. You know what? I actually alarm baja, but it took me 5 minutes to switch it off. I was in the middle of something. Dhruv came running in. And he hugged me from behind. Right? So please put a timer and please make sure that you're hugging your children. And I want updates on the group. Okay? All right. So this is step 1. Okay, we've covered unconditional love. okay, expressing our love. But there will be other things that we will have to do along this journey, right? So this is the absolute first step, huh, guys, no brainer. This has to be done. This is the foundation. But how do you make them calm, for example? Yeah, are there ways to, are there things that we can do which will make our children calm? Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Are there ways to, make our children well-mannered without having to scream at them, without having to punish them, without having to give them timeouts? Are there ways to have, healthy relationship, but still have disciplined children? Yes, there are ways to do it. There are specific ways to do it. Yeah, what do you do when your child is throwing a tantrum in public? How do you handle something like that? How do you handle something like that? Well, we handle it anyways. But a lot of times, हमको बाद में ऐसे लगता है यार, I could have done better. या तो हम उसको, public में डांटते हैं या थप्पड़ लगाते हैं या we get flustered and, it's a big mess and you come home and you're like, my God, what an experience. Can that change? Can we know what to do, in a situation like that? Because children are children. They're going to throw tantrums. They're going through an age. All children throw tantrums, by the way. किसी का भी बच्चा इससे छूटता नहीं है. Children who are calm and collected and confident throw fewer tantrums. Okay, but every child will throw tantrums. Okay, that's not something parents can get away from. The only thing we can do is learn how to handle them well. Right? Also, a lot of you, I don't know, I don't see any Swadha parents here, right? So you go to conventional schools. Grade 1, your child has to learn ABC. Your child has to know numbers before they enter grade 1, right? Now, sitting down and writing ABC 1, 2, 3, is that really the best way to teach our children? What does child consciousness say? Yeah. Do we know what is the emotional and mental development our child has had? Do we know what is the best way to present something so alien as alphabets and numbers to them? Yeah, there are right ways to do it. We can still do it in the right way, such that children don't, get burdened because of all this, so that you don't get stressed because of this. Right? So all this, we have learned, I have researched, I have found studies, as I told you in the past, in the past 1 hour. Vaishali has implemented them. She has seen success. I have implemented them. I have seen success. And we know so many other parents who have utilized these techniques, used these techniques. And, their parenting journey through kindergarten and toddlerhood has been beautiful and very joyful. Yeah. And it can be done with you all as well. And my mission is to take these parenting techniques to at least 1 million children and parents. Yeah. So that, I want to be able to, I want children to be able to experience the joy and freedom in childhood, not this, not this stress that parents and children experience today. Right? So I have put together some sessions, as I said, and I will share my screen. Vaishali, can you enable screen sharing?
You can share now.
Just give me a moment. Okay. Please let me know if this is visible to y'all. Oops, my whole screen is visible. Hold on. Okay, now in full screen mode. Oops.
Actually, it's gone. You were sharing it properly earlier, Salima. It's not visible now.
Sorry, give me a moment. Okay, can you see them now?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so there are some parenting sessions and workshops that I've put together with these parenting techniques. Okay, so as we said, what do we want our children to be? All these adjectives, no? Smart, creative, calm, confident. We want them to be disciplined. We want them to have good habits. We want them to be good in school also, right? And we also want them to be healthy, isn't it? Right? So I have put these sessions together such that, they kind of achieve one objective. So for example, I start the sessions with a session on child consciousness, okay, where you learn about will consciousness in early childhood and how we utilize will consciousness for all kinds of things, for their learning, for their movement, for their sleeping, for everything, for all kinds of learning, okay, languages here, letters here, whatever it is, right? Then importance of movement in childhood. Okay, a lot of preschools today have many sheet-based activities. Our children are sitting down for long hours, okay, in school, and then they come home and sit down for long hours in front of either the TV or the mobile, or, we're asking them to sit down. Baithta kyun nahi hai, baithta kyun nahi hai? But movement for childhood is critical, okay, for the cognitive development, for being able to read and write later, for being able to focus in class later, right? So I go through which movements are most critical, what kind of movements, what kind of games, what kind of activities should we do with our children, right? So that later on, that their bodies are getting prepared to be able to learn when they're older, right? Then I have the session on play. Okay, now you'll wonder why there is a session on play, because play is, like I've written, the lifeline of childhood. Okay, and play, according to us adults, is very different from what it is according to children. Yeah, play is the highest form of research. It's an Einstein quote, very famous Einstein quote. Yeah, so your child is learning all the time that he is playing. So what is the kind of environment we should provide for our children to play? Yeah, what is most suitable? What kind of toys should we give them? How should their play be? What is our role in their play? Yeah, very important to know all this, right? And I believe that with this, because of the movements, our children's cognitive abilities get developed. Okay, they can get smart. Because of the play that we are doing, they get creative. That also helps in problem solving abilities. And knowing child consciousness is base for anything and everything we need to do or want to do with an early childhood, a child in early childhood. So that is the most important thing. Yeah, so I do offer one session every, you can sign up for a single session if you want to, and these are the dates for the sessions. But this course package costs 1,200 rupees. Okay, there's a discount of 300 if you sign up for all three, right? And along with this, you get bonuses worth 1,000 rupees with the course. Okay, so what are the bonuses? So I will share a document which is written by a scientist and a doctor, where they describe year by year consciousness development of the child. So every year one, how is the child's mental development? How is his emotional development? What is parents' role in it? Year by year up until 7 years. Okay. Then along with this, you will also get finger and action rhymes, which are recommended movement. Okay, this needs to be done with children so that they can sit in class, they can focus, and they can learn their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s later. Right? So you'll get lyrics, plus I have recorded my own videos, which I will be sharing with you all. Right? And also list of open-ended toys. I'll give you Amazon links. Right? So the next time you want to buy something for your child or for somebody else's child, there's a ready list for you. Okay. And as I said, the package price is 1,200. So this is the first course. The second course is, what do we do to make our children calm and confident? Okay. So first and foremost is media. How much media, when, and what kind of media? Okay. So according to Steiner, there are 12 senses that a child has, not just 5. Okay. And media has an impact on each of those senses. So we will understand what is the impact media has on each of the senses. We will look at research. What does research say? What does American Pediatric Institute say? What does their study say? What does the government of Europe, one of the countries in Europe has passed a law? What do they say? And why do they say that? Yeah, about media. Then rhythms and restfulness. How rhythms and restfulness are required and are critical to make your child calm and confident. Okay. And I'm sure some of you are surprised, but yes, what your child eats can cause your child to be calm or not calm. Okay. Also, how to handle picky eaters. You know, your child says, "Ye nahi khana hai, wo nahi khana hai, bhaji nahi khaunga, ye nahi khaungi." Right? So how do you handle picky eaters? How do you handle mealtime madness when your child is throwing food on the ground? How do you handle things like that? What foods do you give? What foods do you avoid? When do we eat? Yeah, what are the timings in the day which are recommended for eating? How do we eat? Right? So all this will be covered, and all this, I believe, does make your child calm and confident, makes you also a lot more calm and confident, right? So the dates are given here. And again, along with this, I will give you the document which details out the child's 12 senses. What are they and how they develop over the years, right? Then I will share a sample rhythm chart of breathing in and breathing out activities. So there is a concept called breathing in and breathing out activities. We talk about that in the session. And then I give you a sample rhythm chart so that you don't have to make your own chart. You know, you can just use that as a template and maybe make a few changes based on your, on your day or on your specific instance. Right? And then also fun, easy and healthy recipes. So I'll share some recipes. Cooking, is a very good activity to do with children. And I will be sharing recipes which you can make with your child. Very easy, even if your child is as small as 3 or 4. Okay. Again, the whole course, the package price is 1,200. Right. Then I have a third course, which is essentially about disciplining. Okay. Inculcating good habits, making your child well-mannered. Okay. How we can be a role model, how that is one of the first things, because our children learn by imitation, right? So one of the most critical aspects of will consciousness is the learning is happening through imitation, right? So how we can model the behavior that we want the child to follow. Then, as I said, how do we put in healthy and effective discipline, right? Without having to shout, without having to punish. How can you be a loving authority? You have to be an authority, but how can we be a loving authority? What are the techniques to use so that the children are disciplined, but we are still having, a very good relationship with our child, right? And then, as we said, children are children, they will throw tantrums, but how do you handle them? What are the techniques to handle a child's misbehavior? Yeah, and children have this habit of doing this, especially when you have guests at home or when you're in a public place, right? There is a reason they do that. We'll understand the reason and we will learn how to handle it, right? So those are the dates and the packages for 1,200. And again, there are bonuses with this course as well, right? So we said imitation, right? So and Vaishali will corroborate on this. One of the most beautiful things I have seen is, when we visit our children's class and, it's just lunchtime or they've just finished play and, we go to pick them up. The teacher is not saying, pick up all the toys, put them in the baskets, let's wind up. No, she's just singing this beautiful song. Okay. And she's picking up stuff on her own. And she's putting it, and she's gently leading children also to do it. And I'm telling you, it's like a miracle unfolding in front of your eyes. All these noisy, hyper children, okay, they're playing in the middle of everything, and the teacher starts singing, and it's like a cue, and they will start putting things back together. Yeah, Vaishali, you've seen that?
Lesser said is always better.
Yes. Right. So I will.
Is always better.
Yes, so I will be sharing something like that, which is effective for cleaning up, but this is also an example, and I will teach you how, we can do this, right? Then do's and don'ts of being a loving authority. It's not going to be only theory. Very, very practical do's and don'ts will be handed out to you. You will get a copy of this. And also there is a very good article, which has helped me a lot on confident momentum. Okay, it's a term coined by our person, but what she talks about in underconfident momentum is extremely helpful, and I'll be sharing that article with you. Okay. Then the fourth course is, as we said, in non-Waldorf schools and conventional schools, children need to know alphabets and numbers by the age of 6, right? So how do we use this knowledge about will consciousness and about movement, and how do we make, alphabets come alive to these children? Right? How do we make them imbibe these numbers, and how do we make them love, math? We don't want them to feel, oh my God, math, jaise humko lagta tha shayad, right? But how do you develop this love for numbers when they're so little, right? How do we, if we teach it to them right, they will learn to love math. They will learn to love a lot of languages. Yeah, even in languages, what is the best way to introduce a new language to the child? What languages should we introduce to them at this age? Okay, so that's the course on enhancing your child's academic learning. So I will be sharing sample pictures of all letters. You won't have to come up with your own pictures. Okay. Of course, we talk about these pictures and why they are important and how they should be. And I will be sharing them for all the alphabets with you. You won't have to go hunting for it. Then we talk about how to learn math. And one of the ways to learn math is using a number story for numbers and operations. Okay. And I will share the story with you. You can just directly use it. You don't have to come up with your own story. Right? And that's the best way to introduce maths to children. It stays with them for life. Okay. And I will also share lyrics and videos of tongue twisters, which improve language proficiency. Okay. So all these programs are listed on my website. That is www.salimadosani.com/programs. Yeah, I will also paste this in the chat. Along with all of this, I also take some workshops. These are live workshops where you will be working with me. We will be doing these things together. So I will not just send you a video. We will do it together. So one of the best things that I have learned in the last 10 years is something called as wet on wet painting. Okay. To make it really short, it's wet paper, wet paint. Okay. But it's a therapeutic form, okay, of art. It is a beautiful way to introduce colors to the children. They really, really enjoy it. Okay, they enjoy and they understand the quality of the colors through this, and it really goes in, and it's a very calming activity. In fact, it is used by therapists for Alzheimer patients, etc. So the patient is not painting, the therapist is painting in front of the patient, and it still is therapeutic for the patient. Okay, it's that powerful, and we will be learning how to do this wet on wet painting. We'll be doing it in class together online, and I have done it. It works. Okay. Then we say that, will consciousness works a lot through the hands. Yeah, we do a lot of hand work, and it is extremely important for our children to use their fingers and their hands for a lot of, cognitive development, for a lot of gross and fine motor skills. Right? So I will be teaching you how to do handwork with wool. Very simple. Ice cream sticks and wool. That's all you need. Aur kuch nahi chahiye iske liye. We'll sit together, we'll make stuff, and at the end of it, you'll feel like, oh wow, I made this. Yeah, and it'll be really nice. Right? And then movement activities. So I will, we will be doing these rhymes together. I will teach you the action, I will teach you the words, 4, 5, 10 rhymes which you can do with your child. Okay, you don't need to go online. You don't need to hunt for kya seekhu, what is okay, what is not. And I'll give you videos, I'll give you lyrics of all these activities, of all these rhymes. Okay. So again, you can go and sign up for this, or if you want to, directly pay for it, ping me. You can do a GPay also if you don't want to pay through InstaMojo, because this takes you to InstaMojo. Now, as a package, if you want to do the whole program and you believe that, yes, this is going to help my child, and you want to do the whole program, even with a discounted rate, it comes to 6,000. I'm offering an even better price. Okay, I make it available to parents for 5,000 only. Okay, if you sign up for all 4 courses together. And more importantly, when you sign up for all of them together, first of all, you get a discount for more 1,000 rupees. But importantly, then I align with you for the sessions, which means that I have published some dates over there, right, for my sessions. So people who sign up for single sessions or just single courses have to align with those days. You'll have to take out time on that day, at the time, like, just that we decided today, sometime, someday. But when you sign up for the whole thing, I make it a one-on-one coaching program, which means that we decide a time of the day, a day in the week, and a time of that day, which is suitable for both of us. We agree. And then, the sessions happen on that day every week at that time. Let's say Sunday mornings, 9 o'clock is good for you, or Monday nights, 8 p.m. is good for you. Every week we will have sessions on that day, on that time for you, and I will cover everything. Okay. Plus, if you sign up for the whole thing, I can, add you as a student in, I have a school on teachable.com, and all this material is updated over there. All the videos are uploaded over there, right? So you will have lifetime access to all these videos and presentations and these documents and everything over there. Okay. And especially for this group of people on the call today, if you register by 16th, which is tomorrow, you will get an additional 500 rupees discount. Okay. Other than this, I also do one-on-one consultations in case you decide कि नहीं मुझे sessions नहीं करने हैं, but I have a specific problem and I have a specific challenge and I would like to understand from you what can be done. We can have a one-on-one session as well. So you can ping me if you want a one-on-one session, right? It's there on my website as well. Okay. So I will be sharing a feedback form with you. I hope all of you enjoyed the session. I hope it was interesting. I hope you learned something. There's a takeaway for all of you. I would love to know what was your takeaway, what was your best takeaway. So I have a very short feedback form that we have created. And, once you fill up the feedback form, I will be sharing a video on making a wool kite. Yeah, so I thought it was appropriate because yesterday was Makar Sankranti. So I'll teach you how to make a kite with wool. And if you don't understand the video, you give me a call. Okay, I'll explain it to you or I'll show it to you. All right. And also an age-wise books recommended for reading. So age-wise, what are the books? There are a lot of fairy tales, a lot of books, right? So what do you read to your child? So an age-wise recommendation of books. Also, I would request all of you to post a review on FB or Google for me. And as a token of my appreciation for that, I will additionally share with you a document on psychomotor timeline for your child. So it has this table which says, okay, this is the age of your child and these are the activities, okay, on the movement timeline that he should be able to do. I will show that to you if I have it open. Yeah, it's a beautiful, very nice tabular format, quick glance, what your child can do at 1, what your child can do at 2, what he can do at 7. And, that really sets your expectations right. Yeah, it's a beautiful document and I'll share it to you if you are good, if you're sweet enough to post a review for me. Whatever rating you give, even if you give a rating of 1, I'll send it to you. Okay, don't worry about that. You can give whatever rating, but give a rating, please. All right. And I keep sharing parenting insights every week, okay, at least once a week. So if you follow me on Instagram and FB, you will be getting those insights as well. All right. So I have been talking non-stop. I feel like that. And how did you like the session? How did you all enjoy it?
Yes, we enjoyed it a lot. It was a wonderful and learning session. Good session.
Great. I'm so happy. Any other feedback? Any other comments? How can we?
I have a question. Can I ask?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You just talk about that, how to handle tantrums, but, can you give a quick tips? I know you have a detailed session on that, but still, if you can give a quick tips, because this is what, I get really irritated and, I shout at him and then, or sometimes I've slept also. And so, because you are not, you are also irritated. So this irritation you just pour onto your child. So how do we handle that?
Yeah, so it's a 1-hour session. And, honestly, if I had to give you a quick tip, I would say don't react when you feel like reacting the most. Okay. I mean, just don't do anything. Because anything we do in that state of mind, okay, you're going to regret it later. Yeah, it's going to form an impact. And, the best thing is to calm down first. Okay, you reduce your acidity, your irritation first, and then you talk about and give a consequence for that. Okay, so ideally you should not give a consequence to children for a tantrum. Okay, because it's not their fault. Okay, there's something else that is at work and we need to understand what went wrong, right? So never punish your children for throwing a tantrum, because when a child is throwing a tantrum, it's actually a cry for help. Okay, your child is saying, parent me, या तो मेरा खाने का टाइम मिस हुआ है, या मेरा सोने का टाइम मिस हुआ है, या तो मेरे को पता ही नहीं है, तुम कभी कुछ बोलते हो, right? So
Mm.
there's a lot which is going on when the child is throwing a tantrum. It's not really his fault. Yeah. So
Okay.
so while I understand where you're coming from, and honestly I have also done it, okay, but I have really worked on myself. And
Yeah, I think it's more on working on yourself rather
yeah,
than
you know,
working on your
we
child.
just need to control that urge to react immediately, okay?
Correct.
So if you don't attend my session, the one takeaway for you can be that, you know, you don't react, walk out of the room, just
Yeah.
simply walk out of the room.
Yeah. Actually, I have attended World of sessions, couple of sessions. So a
And
lot
Amrit,
of
you
things.
pinged me, right? You
Yeah.
pinged me, no? You pinged me on WhatsApp separately?
Yes, I pinged you on Insta actually.
Oh, you pinged me on Insta, yeah.
Varsha Kamna. So one thing, rhythm is what I learned from Waldorf only. That's which I'm not able to maintain it, no matter what I try. But it is just not manageable because you need to have both the parents involved in it. I believe the culture has to be there. The like eating time and it's still okay, but then you have a lot of social engagements where you can't manage your sleeping time on at the rhythmically. So I mean, how do we handle that if suppose both the parents are not involved?
एक काम करते हैं, we'll you ping me
We'll talk.
offline. Yeah, we'll talk offline. Yeah, I really
Chalo.
want to answer your questions,
Sure.
but we might be taking other people's time
No,
as
no,
well.
no,
So
that's
call
okay.
me. Yeah, call me.
Sure. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Salima, I wanted to, just add a small tip on something that I adapted.
Sure.
Is to realize that sometimes your temper kind of spills over on your child because you're very preoccupied and you can't hear me.
Very low. I don't know about the others, but I thought your voice was coming from very far
Can you
away.
hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So one of the things that, because the parent asked with respect to how do you, deal with tantrum or your anger, And I used to find myself preoccupied at that point of time when the child really comes to you. It works well with early childhood because the older children really understand where you're coming from. They're very kind of tuned that they can also verbalize what they feel. Is a very good practice which I introduced, and I think it works fantastic. Even to bring my para, in Marathi or Hindi, se na mera para chad gaya hai. So to bring your temper down, as well as to kind of maintain everything calm is when I knew I was going to raise my voice and I was going to turn around and say, Kavya, stop it. I would just turn around and I would say it, and then I would say, Kavya, I'm just going to kiss you now. And then she would be thrown out of the blue because she would have expected me to kind of scream at her, but the reaction I give is, the completely opposite. And that kind of really, throws everything out of balance and we both start laughing. So it used to be a very calming effect for me and a very fun thing for my daughter as well. So I don't know if it works, but you must try it out.
Yeah.
Did you all hear me? I don't know if you heard me. I used to find it hilarious. It was like a comedy situation, like you just turn around angry and then you give a completely, contrast action. So that kind of just, melts down everything for you as well. So you could probably.
It's a unique tip and I think it will really work.
Yeah, because you can calm yourself. Forget the child. The child is laughing because he thinks you're being funny, but it calms you down. It works wonders.
Yeah, Salima, I have one question to you. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you very much for today's session. Your energy is infectious. You were super energized the entire session.
Thank you so much.
And my child is 6.5 years old. I'm not sure. I mean, though the invitation said that it is for 1 to 5, but I still thought of I do want to attend it. But I have seen your various, outline of the program as well. So I just want to understand, how do you really relate it with the age where it is like 5 years and all, or it's still okay? Because there are certain sessions which I know that really it's like your child is still a child, even though it's going to be a 10 years or 9 years old.
Absolutely. And you know what I tell in my child consciousness sessions, do you all know what is the period of childhood? According to you, what is the period of childhood? 10 years?
They enter the teens. Yeah.
Teens? Anybody else? I love throwing this session, and good that you reminded me actually. I take it in my in my child consciousness sessions, but I'll come to your question. So hold on for 1 second. Just let me take this opportunity. Girls, and I don't know if there are guys on, I still don't know if there are guys on the session. What is the span of childhood?
Teen, till teen, 13, 14. Yeah.
Yeah. 13, 14, everybody agrees? If anybody has any other number, please let me know.
Yeah, I think forever. My mom still mom.
I want it to be forever, but
Exactly.
but it's not the same.
So, you know, childhood, okay, childhood is still 21 years of age. 21. Okay, that at 21, your child has developed all the 3 consciousness that adults have. And then he becomes an adult. Okay, that is why children below 21 are not allowed to get married. That is why they're not allowed to vote. Because their thinking consciousness has not developed yet. Okay, so don't worry, your child is really little. Okay, and actually, if you go to my website or my Insta page, I talk about early childhood as in 0 to 7. But, you know, Vaishali and I decided that we will restrict this to 0 to 5 because, you know, it just kind of brings in the same kind of parents and, you know, maybe it's easier. But I usually do it for 0 to 7. I have had parents attending my session with children of the age of 11 years old as well. Right? 8 years, 9 years, although I call it early childhood and it is most effective in early childhood, it does not mean that these techniques don't work beyond that. Okay, we focus on early childhood because once you've set these things in early childhood, then it continues on. It's difficult to start something when your child is 9 or 10 or 11, right? But if you've set it, then it continues, right? So it doesn't mean I'm not implementing these techniques anymore with my 11-year-old. I'm still doing it, but I started when they were really young. And that's why we focus on early childhood parents. Yeah, but all parents are welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Salima.
Yeah. You're always welcome. Call me anytime.
Sure.
Right? So good. I'm glad. I think it was informative for you all from whatever you all are saying. Thank you very much. You all are a great audience. I know I can just keep talking and talking and talking, but you all were really patient and you all heard me out. And thank you very much, Vaishali. This was really wonderful. And I hope you get in touch with me for the programs, and I hope we can work together for our children.
Salima, thank you so much. It's wonderful that you're able to bring the beautiful experiences that we enjoyed in parenting and we still continue to enjoy. The joyous moments, being able to put our vulnerable side in front of everybody. And, you know, it's very important for parents to know that we're all in the same boat. We all go through it.
Yes, we all are.
Nobody's perfect. It is only WhatsApp DPs and Facebook DPs which are perfect. But behind that, we are all human, just as human can be. So it was a lovely session. It actually took me back to Kavya's childhood, back to the days when I was bringing her up and our days together at.
Yes.
Thank you, my dear parents, for joining. And I would definitely like to add that, from the course content, I can definitely say that these are more practicable. These are doable because we as parents, now our children are 9. So at least with respect to early childhood, I can say these things work and they work beautifully. And we've seen our children grow. I've seen Arsh grow into this little man that he's grown into. And so has Salima seen Tavya grow into the little woman that she's growing into. And it will be a method of trial and error, but when you always have someone to help you out or someone with the insight, it kind of makes the journey easier. You know, we don't want our friends to, reinvent the wheel. So,
yes,
we're always here. And I hope that, Salima and I can bring many more such sessions for you, with you as well. So we'll of course post all the sessions in the WhatsApp group. You can visit her website. There's a feedback form that she's also put. So fill that out. So she has all your details and she can get in touch with you as well. And having said that, one of the essential aspects I will like to add, Salima, is the impact of communicating with your child. And, it's very, very important. And there are a couple of parents who are part of my program here as well. And we talk so much about communicating with our child. And one of the best ways to do it is through stories. And I will always, go back to the impact that stories have on children without having to tell them anything. Stories are instructionless communication with children because they subtly just mold and really create beautiful memories for them, beautiful habits, beautiful values, everything to them. So Salima, I'm sure you and I will also, join together very soon to bring.
Absolutely, Vaishali. And in fact, I always talk about you in my sessions because I take up this aspect of, communicating things to stories. They're part of almost every course, right? And I always tell them that I have this, friend who runs story sessions. So you're right. That is a very, very essential part of children growing up.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, along with Salima's sessions, I would just like to bring to your notice, and I have put it up on certain groups as well, is that I will be starting my storytelling format. I mean, I love working in person with children. To hug them, cuddle them, run with them is so much fun. To pull their cheeks and they jumping on me on my beanbag in my activity center was the best thing that would happen to me. But unfortunately, now coming close has become like difficult with everybody. So these sessions are online, and I must tell you that it's a 45-minute storytelling session which I do with my little ones. It's 45 minutes of not sitting in front of the screen, but I will tell you there are parents who are part of the group here today that I've played hide and seek with my children online. We've made things together online. We've packed up. We've cooked. We've done a lot of stuff along with storytelling. So if you're looking, for something of that sort, I will send out details to you. And of course, Katha Mehfil, there are Katha Mehfil members, which is an audio stories platform. So if you're a parent who is like, every day you have to search for a story, Katha Mehfil brings one new story every day to your child. All you need to do is just turn on your phone. It is not a video, so it is zero screen time. You can connect it to your speaker in your house, turn off the lights, and you can hear my voice and the voice of various storytellers who are part of our team, who will tell a story every day to the child. The child can replay it over and over again, and you can join them as well. So on that note, Salima and I are very happy that all of you joined here today. We hope to, become a lovely community which is able to reach out to our children in positive ways. So have a lovely weekend. Okay, bye-bye everyone.
Bye everyone. Thank you. Lots of loves and hugs and kisses to your children. And I'm serious, I want the updates on the group, okay? Don't forget every 1 hour, all right?
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.
Bye.
See you all. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Yes, thank you
Bye.
so much. Bye.